are live, or as live as it's going to get on Raw Food Rehab. And so this is our Sunday festivities that we're doing. It's our closing day festivities. And you guys are two of our biggest losers. High five, high five it. Okay, Katie, you got your evaluation turned in already. I saw it this morning. Tell us your final weight loss.
25 pounds.
Woo! 25. Is that the most weight you've lost in that short of amount of time in your whole life?
Yes, and never been hungry.
Never been hungry. So,
never hungry.
So you guys came in you came in actually halfway through online, but you have been doing it since.
We started
a week late, June 8th, Monday, June 8th.
Okay, started a week late. So you guys have really done even better than that. If you'd have had another week, you'd have lost even more. But we'll start with you. What do you think what have you gotten out of this experiment? Because you've never been a raw foodist before, have you?
No, we went from totally eating every day, sad diet, to raw overnight, just one day. And it's been amazing. Maybe a little bit of food cravings the first 3 days, but by day 4, I was hooked. I felt better. I was never hungry. I just smoothed through. It's been amazing.
Can you see the difference in your face and your clothes are fitting more loose?
Oh, yeah. I've dropped an entire size.
Yay.
But I noticed that my skin's softer, my hair, I don't look down in the drain and see hair in the drain anymore. Not that I had a lot, but I thought that was normal shedding. That's gone. My eyelashes, I'm noticing, are starting to get just a little fuller. It's slow. It's not overnight, but I'm seeing some really great changes. And I feel good. No highs and lows during the day. I don't have that afternoon where I'm like, oh, man, I need a nap. I'm tired. I just go all day long. And I really haven't thought about it until you realize what you're not having. I'm not having those ups and downs.
And so
really
you've eliminated really all processed foods. I mean, you've always been a cook, haven't you?
Off and on, yeah. But, living with a vegetarian, yeah. So we were always doing different things. But, yeah, we've always eaten. And he's Italian, so we do pasta and pizza and breads and big breakfast, big country breakfast. You name it, we could do it.
So you've cut the bacon out.
No bacon.
Oh, yeah, big bacon sausage. Breakfast every morning for me is toast, sausage, bacon, and eggs. That was my favorite meal of the day. Probably not a day went by that I didn't go out and get at least a single slice of pizza from somewhere. Not to mention a whole pizza maybe for dinner. And always at least to stop at McDonald's to grab one of their unbelievable dollar values of, a double cheeseburger.
Cheap eat.
Oh, man, slice of pizza and a double cheeseburger almost every day.
Well, dude, you started this 10 weeks ago.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, I know she didn't know it.
The real dirt's coming out,
Bill.
Bill.
I don't understand why I'm not losing and my clothes fit. I'm eating pretty good. Yeah.
So you started this 10 weeks ago. What's been the main changes that you've seen in the last 10 weeks?
Oh, the main changes are I have lost completely my preoccupation with food. My life revolved around food. Mm-hmm. I would get up in the morning and within 15 minutes after my first cup of coffee, if I didn't have that breakfast, I was irritable, miserable, angry, just like a biochemical thing.
Yes,
cranky,
as soon as I finish that, I'd be thinking, what's my mid-morning snack going to be? And then how long before lunch? And then I got to go out and snag a piece of pizza for a snack. And then dinner. And then what are we having for dessert? And why isn't dessert ready? And then who's going to make the run to Taco Bell for a 9:30, 10 o'clock snack before we go to bed? So everything revolved literally around food.
So you kind of got your life back.
My life is back.
And how much have you lost, Bill?
As of this morning, 32 pounds.
32 pounds?
Yeah. It's huge. I am 3 pounds away from breaking the 200 mark. Embarrassed to say, which I've been trying to do since the day Jennifer was born. That was my pregnancy weight.
You guys do carry it, I know.
I have not been able to break 200 for 24 years.
Well, I can just say that both of you have... I see, just since in the short time that I met you at Paul Nissan's event. I think that was the first time, and that was right before we started this. You both have literally lost years. I mean, don't you feel like you look younger? I mean, your skin, I see where Jen gets her perfect skin, and you're just a little character, and you're so well loved here. You're one of our token males.
Coconut oil for aftershave. I am now.
He is not joking.
I am now one of those weirdo fanatical people that I used to label as weirdo fanatical.
So how did you guys get in? How did you all get into this deal? How did you get lured into the raw food rehab?
We told Jen that we'd support her by joining this wacko experiment.
Oh.
And I thought that I would do it for maybe breakfast on the first day just to support my daughter, and then I'd be crazy by noon. And then 10 weeks later.
Yeah, I think it was really a win, and it was just one of those really great wins.
Surprised you?
Yes, absolutely. I thought it'd be 3 days. I was committed to do 3 days, and I thought it'd be 3 days of hell. But I thought if it helped, it'd be okay. So.
Well, let's just talk to the queen bee of the family here. You know, being the only child has its advantages and its disadvantages. Are you proud of your parents, Jen?
Oh, I am so proud of my parents. I love my parents so much. If they only knew how much I talked about them. You know, because I talk about them too.
Yeah.
I am so proud of them. Everyone knows about my parents. Love them.
So tell us just briefly about your experience in raw food rehab. How have you done with it all?
I have just totally loved it. It's been so much easier than I thought because I dabbled in raw foods, you know, about 8 months ago. And the concept of it when I started it 8 months ago was just so far off in the distance. Like getting a spiralizer or, you know, cooking with dates. Like it just blew my mind. And so when I tried to do it, it was real boring, really basic, and I only lasted 2 weeks, and I just didn't feel connected to it. I didn't feel like it was something that I could do, and so I just had this big blank spot where I knew I wanted to get back into it, but I didn't know how. And then when, you know, raw food rehab came around, I think I was just ready for it, and it just flowed really well with my lifestyle, and suddenly all those things that I thought about, you know, like goji berries and superfoods and all that kind of far off stuff, it wasn't so distant anymore. It was really attainable for me, and it just kind of all came together. So I've been loving it. So I'm passionate about raw.
You're juicing?
I juiced for 7 days, which is a big deal for me.
Woohoo.
And I did not drink any tea, anything. It was just water and juice.
And you've lost altogether about 15 pounds.
Yes, which actually my goal for the site was 10 to 15 pounds. So, but I would like to, now I need to get in a yoga class and kind of do a little bit of refining.
That's exercise, right?
We've been
Walking, mainly walking. Wendy, are you doing any exercise?
Walking and started jogging for the first time. I've been wanting to do
way
that
to
for 20 years.
Oh my gosh, you're going to be my inspiration. I have never jogged much. I mean, I want to though. Now, do you find any time for exercise?
Yes, we're walking. I'm walking and walk running. And I plan to either run the Tulsa Run in the fall or the Tulsa Run or the Cleveland Race for the Cure, the 6 miles.
Yeah, that might be more my speed, 6 miles instead of 13. And then you are definitely, you mentioned already, but Bikram yoga, and what else do you do?
Well, I usually do weightlifting and running in the mornings, but I hurt my foot. I got plantar fasciitis in my foot, and I hurt my hip with some dumb injury. And so I haven't been able to run, and it's really making me miserable in a sense because I want to so bad, but it does hurt. So that's why I started the yoga, and that's nice because I get a good sweat going.
Absolutely.
And swimming. I'm trying to do swimming.
So great.
Getting there, but it's a challenge.
Well, and then do we know what you're doing? Oh, you're just wanting to add some more. You're walking mainly.
Oh, I do want to get back into yoga. I did Bikram yoga actually in high school, which is the heated yoga. It's like, what is it, 105? Yeah. It's like 105 degrees, and it's awesome. And I fell out of that loop, so I've just really been out of the exercising loop. But I have been walking for the last half of the experiment. For the first half, I didn't do anything, but since the last half of the experiment, I've been trying to walk every day. So I've averaged about 5 or 6 days a week. But even though that's good, it's not just really quite enough. I'm ready to do some Pilates or just kind of bump it up a little bit, for sure.
Well, I have an announcement that I'm going to make, but I'm going to hold off on that for just a second. So we'll be back with you in just a minute, okay?